This is a piece of gear that pretty much every serious shooter has. Even if you're not a competitor, you probably like to do your own drills, and you probably have a shot timer of some sort. The most common are the big square competition electronic shot timers. I've had one for probably 10 years, and most of you have got them too. And it's a good piece of equipment, but it does have its issues, and it is a bit outdated. So when the folks at Range Tech asked me if I was interested in taking a look at their shot timer, I said, okay, yeah, I'll take a look at it. And I was not really expecting to be as impressed as I have been with this little timer. So let's talk about the basics first of all. So you can see just by me holding it that it's much smaller. It's probably a third the size of the traditional shot timers. It's also very light because it doesn't have any batteries. It has an internal battery, but you don't have batteries that you've put in it. So that helps keep the weight down. And as I said, you don't put batteries in it. You charge it via USB. So this is a rechargeable timer that you charge yourself. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. In every other way, it works just like your standard range timer. It's got a speaker here where you can hear a nice, very audible beep for the start. Picks up the shots using this microphone right here, and of course there's your start stop button for the SO, and we have an on-off switch. It also comes with the USB cable since it is USB charged. It charges up pretty quick. It seemed like it only took a few hours, I think, to get a full charge on it, and it's easy to do touch-up charges, especially in the truck or the car on the way to the range is a good time to throw it on the charger. The other important piece of gear that you see here is the mobile phone. This is an iPhone. It does use iOS. It also uses Android, and there's an app. There's an app for that. So what you do is you go to Range Tech and you download the app, or you go to the App Store and you download the Range Tech Timer app, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. And that's where all the other stuff that's missing off of this one is. That's why there's no display screen. You set all your configurations and preferences on the app, and all of your readouts and times and splits and everything else is going to be shown on the app. Okay, so right before I get to showing you the app, let me talk real quickly about this little piece right here. This is all, if you're the SO or you're the person doing your own drills, this is all you got to hold or clip onto your belt. Bullet points that I really like about this, it's very small and very light. There's only one button to worry about. You don't have to worry about up, down, on, off, left, right. Did I hit the right button? Did I hit the wrong button? Did I accidentally screw something up? The only thing you can do maybe is accidentally turn it off, but that's going to be pretty obvious when you squeeze the big blue button and nothing happens. So you basically have one button to push, and that's it. And even I can remember that. It's got a very loud start beep. Good, very loud. Of course that's going to diminish as the charge might wear down, but very loud. The shooter doesn't have any trouble hearing that beep. It also seems to have very nice shot sensitivity. When I was using it as an SO and when I was using it doing my own drills, it never missed a single shot, never missed a single split. And even letting other people use it as SOs during a match, even holding it right behind the shooter, it picks up every single shot. So very good sensitivity on the mic. The other part is the app itself. And right now it's telling me the app requires the Range Tech Pro shot timer. And it's telling me basically, hey, you don't have your timer on. So if I switch the timer on, there we go. Connects pretty quick. It uses Bluetooth to connect. This is where you do all the work. This is where you're going to see all your times. It's also where you configure everything. If I go up here to the menu bar, you can see that there are quite a number, starting with general settings. Going back to sensitivity, so we can We can set the sensitivity, and right now it's set at about 2/3 of the way toward more sensitive. And like I said, it is very sensitive, picked up every shot, but it still has some room to go if we needed it. Okay, a lot of different timer setting options. You can see I've kept everything pretty basic, but you really can configure things a lot. You can set your delay wherever you want it. You can do par times and so on. You can also have the device do announcements and actually tell you things, which is pretty cool too. Setting up the configuration is pretty simple. It's again a simple Bluetooth connection, so you simply enable it on your phone, let the two pair up, and you're good to go. You can see that right there, and it also shows you your battery life. Saved results is also a very nice feature because you can save all of your shot results to the cloud. All you have to do is set up an account, which doesn't cost anything, on RangeTech's website, and you can upload all of your scores, which is really a great place to be able to keep all your scores, especially for your personal drills and things like that, where you can watch over time to see if you're improving or not improving. You also have the alternative option of using the big giant start button you see here on the app if you don't want to use the blue button on this. So you could wear this on your belt or have it positioned somewhere so it's going to pick up your shots. But if you wanted to, you could use the start button here. Or if you're working with someone else, you've got a partner, you can have them use the app to do the starts while you wear this on your belt, and you don't even have to worry about it. That's a very nice option. So you can basically push the blue button by remote. You also have the ability to share a screenshot or the link right from the app. Of course, you can do screenshots using your phone's screenshot function anytime you want to as well. One of the other big advantages, certainly will be a big advantage, is that the RangeTech timer will integrate with Practice Score. So I know a lot of ranges and clubs use Practice Score. The club that I belong to and shoot IDPA matches uses Practice Score. And the ability to have this automatically put your score right into the score sheet electronically not only is efficient and saves a lot of effort and and all that, but it's also going to be more accurate because now you remove the possibility for somebody to transpose numbers or make a mistake. Also makes it a lot harder for that shooter to argue the score later on. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's not. Comes packaged in a nice little bag that I keep it in my range bag. That way, if there's any moisture or wetness that gets into my range bag, it's not going to affect the timer. Comes with a nice little pamphlet to tell you everything you need to know about it, different ways to use it, recommended operational scenarios, and lots of information and FYI stuff about the app itself. And that folds up nicely, and I can keep it right in the bag with me. So I've been testing this for about a month or so, and I've used it for personal drills and testing. I have also used it in live steel matches as the SO, and as, like I said, let other people use it when they were SOing during the match. Never had a single problem. It was excellent, and it has a lot of advantages, and we discovered, I think, as a group of people using it, we discovered some of the advantages over time. Okay, I'm just going to do some drills with this RangeTech timer. RangeTech timer can be operated either from the device itself or from your phone, or both. I've got it working on both. So I have a start button I can press right here on my phone, which is within arm's length, and that's good, but I've also got a start button right here on the timer. Probably going to use that one. The nice thing is I can control all the settings for delay and par times and splits and all that kind of information. I can control everything that is going to happen here from the app on my phone, which is sweet. And then when it's done, I'm going to be able to see a printout of everything, all my split times, beginning to end and all that good stuff. And I can save it, of course, for posterity because I'm just so good. Everybody's going to want to look at it. And if you're going to run drills, you might as well run them with a CZ Shadow 2, sporting a pair of lock grips that I'm testing. They're black, but they are solid brass. And this thing weighs 487 pounds.
I would normally go with a random start time in a range, but right now I've got it set up to give me a 3-second delay. And let's just do some 2 to the body, 1 to the head drills. Timer is great. It works perfectly. It does a great job of not picking up extra noises. It's catching every shot, every split exactly as it's recorded, and it's great to be able to just see it right there. This is perfect for a drill because I can just glance down and see that it looks like, in this case, I'm progressing. Each series is getting slightly better. Of course, that could just as easily go the other way, but I'm going to know it. How you feel like you're shooting is not always how you're shooting, and you guys who do drills and shoot competitions know that. You can feel fast as lightning and then look at your time and go, ugh. And of course, we all know the saying, right? Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And so sometimes you feel like, man, I'm not hitting it today. And you look at your times and you go, wow, I'm shooting great. So it's nice to be able to just get that feedback immediately. And if I don't want it, for some reason I want to keep myself blind to it, I can just simply turn the phone away so I can't see it or whatever. But it is nice to have that right there in front of me. Especially when you're working by yourself. You don't have somebody to handle a timer for you, and you don't want to be looking down and having to scroll through your split times on a conventional timer. So this is really a great option, and I love that I can save it or print screen it and email it to somebody and go, hey, look how great I did, or whatever, or wow, look how much I suck.
If you are an SO or you spend any time, at matches and all that, you know that one of the first things that the safety officer does when a shooter gets done shooting his course of fire is they have to turn around or sort of flip the timer around backwards so that the scorekeeper can see it. And the scorekeeper's trying to see that little screen while the SO's moving around and trying to watch the shooter unload and make his gun safe. All that's happening at the same time, and people were kind of multitasking at a time when they really shouldn't be multitasking. Every person there should be focused simply on the one job that is their primary job. What I liked about using this in a match was that you can do just that. You just set the phone down on the table next to the scorekeeper, or let him keep it on his clipboard, or wherever they want to keep it. They've got the score right there. The SO doesn't really need to see those numbers ever. If they want to look at them, they can look at them later, but the SO doesn't need to see those numbers. The SO can focus on the shooter, the shooter's gun, and the safety, making sure that he sees a clear handgun properly holstered without trying to worry about, can the scorekeeper see the score on my timer? So I like that element of it a whole lot. As I said, even when you're standing behind the shooter with the timer up really kind of behind their head or even behind their shoulders, picks up the shots really well. I didn't see any kind of problem. Now, maybe if somebody's shooting rimfire, you might have to lean out a little more with it, but the sensitivity was really good. We had the ability to lay the phone with the app running on a table right next to where the shooter was shooting, and not only was that convenient for the scorekeeper to just glance down and write down their scores with each string, but it actually was convenient for the shooter, if they wanted to be able to glance over and see how they did every single string. Now, some shooters may like that, some shooters may not, but it was a choice. I like that you can save the data to the cloud, especially if you're really trying to seriously improve certain aspects of your game and you're out doing drills and stuff like that. You can save that. You can go back and look at it months later or even a year later and say, look how much I've improved, or wow, I haven't really improved, whatever the case might be. And of course, depending on how things are set up, you can also save an entire match data as well. But I think the future for the Range-Tech timer is going to be the integration with Practice Score. It does have capabilities right now to integrate with the practice score system. There are some issues that the folks at Range Tech told me they're working out. So they're not talking about it a whole lot. They're not trying to use it as a big selling point, but know that it does have that integration and it's only going to get better. So in the very near future, I would expect Range Tech to have a huge advantage over any other kind of shot timer system simply because of that integration. There's also a power bank, which is basically an air charger. This is just a charging stick that is available as an option from the folks at Range Tech, and they sent me one of these with the timer. So I did a test. I turned the Range Tech timer on and I left it on for about a week, making sure the battery was stone cold dead. And then I took it out to the range and I tested.
Okay, there's something else I wanted to try with the Range Tech shot timer, and that is because it is charged by USB only. There are no replaceable batteries inside it. What happens if you get out to the match, you get out to the range, and you find out that, oops, I forgot to plug this in last night and charge it, and now it is dead. Yeah, I could have charged it in the truck on the way to the range, but I wasn't smart enough to think of that either, and I didn't discover it until I got here. How many times does that sort of thing happen to you? Happens to me pretty much every time. So what I wanted to know was, what happens if I let it be completely dead, no power? Can I use this optional power bank? This is also available from Range Tech. Basically a charging stick, right? So can I use this charging stick not just to charge it, but to run it? I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to find out right now. This thing has been on for a week to make sure it was totally dead. I'm going to connect the USB to the power bank. And then I'm going to connect the USB to the shot timer. Oh, I've got a blinking green light. That's good. Now let's see if the app picks it up. Looks like it does. All right. So the app says, yep, I've got you. And the timer is working. So the only caveat, of course, is that now I'm sort of tethered to that charging stick, at least for a while. The good news is, you know, between stages or in between shooters, it'll continue to charge. I can turn it off real quick in between. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use it, take a few shots, make sure it's actually working properly. Yep, looks like it's working just fine. One more time. Yep. So, the answer to that question is yes, that's good news. If your Range Tech shot timer goes dead on you because you forgot to charge it, you can run it directly from this charging stick.
Okay, Range Tech shot timer, Bluetooth integration with your phone or tablet, integration with practice score, simple use, and at the same time, very capable features. I really like it. Big thumbs up for this. Big recommendation.